Alright, let's go ahead and get started. It's community stream day, which means open lobbies. We're gonna go ahead and run one real quick as a warm-up, mainly just to give people time to, like, I guess realize that I'm streaming and then pop on. Let's see here. Let's just do a questless Frozen Swamp real quick as a warm-up here. We'll bring our fancy spancy M16 too. And a little bit of 5.56, if I have any. Yeah, I got plenty. Oh, rig needs upgrading again. Rig, there we go. We'll do 5 of these. We'll make do. Bring 2 of you, and we're good. Okay. Where were we? Frozen Swamp. I kind of want to hit up a few of the rooms. Thanks, Ivan and Alex. So, Ivan, right today is the community stream. So I have open lobby right now. We're just doing a quick warm-up really quickly, and then we're gonna wait for people to join. I think I've said this before, Ivan. I don't think it needs a cohesive story. It just needs, like, story elements to it. Having a very what's it called, sandboxy world doesn't really go too well with a lot of narrative elements. And you typically can do it, right? Like, for example, Baldur's Gate 3 has, I wouldn't even call it like open world, right? It's kind of a structured world. But, like, keep in mind, too, the amount of effort, like, BG3 had to put into the game, right? It's a great game, don't get me wrong, but, like, that it was the focus of the game. And they are so much larger than this company. I think he's called, Young Adult Man. I think that's appropriate terminology for 25, Young Adult Man. Can I get across this way, or is this gonna kill me? That's assuredly gonna kill me. Oh, so he has like a infinite stock of like white hair dye and like makeup, or he just found like one of those old man masks and is pretending to be an old man. Understood. I mean, all I'm saying is we throw I mean, as long as he's willing to work, right? I mean, old man does work though, right? He does go out on raids and scavs and stuff like that. He's not a freeloader. Like those poor other scavs who got thrown off the edge. Hello, room. I want more of this on maps so much. I wouldn't mind a minigame also, but like a minigame would be cool too. I wouldn't lie. I want the raiding and like the looting, or not the looting part of the game to be much more involved. Mystery mate. I just like the concept too of like not necessarily vaults per se, but storage rooms like this that have a lot of stuff inside but are like in high danger areas and require extra work to get into.
Sure. Good luck.
Water, we don't need you. Medium mech? I feel like I hear it over there. Oh, it's definitely over there. I'm not sure that's how that works. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm trying to think of like how you could make. You would almost be, well, better off just using the leather part of humans as a way of making that. Also, once again, I said it last year, we'll say this stream, that is not a 12 or 16 inch cannon, I'm sorry. I know it looks like it. I know the silhouette looks so much bigger than what it is. I apologize, but that's just not the size it is in game. Trust me, I had to reckon with that too making the video. It looks bigger than it's supposed to be. It's not that big. Honestly, this whole rear section could be so much smaller. I don't know why it's so big. Hey, Delta. I mean, the McRib wasn't human though. The McRib was I mean, pig, but still. Which is very akin to human, but I digress. I'll have to look at what apparently yoga mats are made out of them. I thought it was just like some high-tech foam. At least the yoga mats I'm familiar with. We might be talking about different we might be thinking about different yoga mats. Hold on, I can solve this real quick. What are yoga mats made of? PVC, yeah, that sounds about right. Natural rubber, yeah. I'll have to look into it more. I'm not seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, man. We might have different ideas of yoga mats in our heads. I'll look into it later. I do not think that the yoga mats you're thinking of are the yoga mats I'm thinking of. Bob over there with like human leather yoga mats. Alright, so open lobby, we'll give people some time to join. We'll give it about like I would say like 3 or 4 minutes. And if not, we'll look up a new one. Yeah, I'll look it up later. I'll look it up later, Bob. I'll do some solid research later. Hold on, we'll just. Okay, so I looked up real quickly. There is a food additive that is used in, this is more of scolding yoga. Okay. The context that you were saying it in made me think that you were saying that the stuff McRibs are made out of goes into yoga mats. What it is though is a chemical that's used in yoga mats has also been added to the McRibs as a food additive. So it's less of yoga mats are made out of McRibs, it's more of McRibs use a chemical that's used in the production of yoga mats. The phrasing of that is the important part there. Because the structure of how you word it changes the meaning drastically. So apparently there's a chemical that's used in yoga mat production that's used apparently in McRibs. That's banned in Europe because Europe actually bans bad things for you. Though, weirdly enough, they keep cigarettes though too, right? They only ban the shady shit you can add to food. Speaking of, let's go and get our guns ready, I guess. It's not Rocket Unsound's gun. Oh, it doesn't change the fact it shouldn't be there, right? Welcome to America. First time. But the way you present information is very important, right? Because what you were saying had me in the thoughts of, you were saying that like the food parts of the McRib were used in yoga mat production. I was like, okay, pork's a McRib, so it has to be something pork based. No, it's a chemical additive. It is like the farthest away from food it could possibly be. I guess we'll keep Frozen Swamp for now. Let's see, we'll give it like 2 or 3 minutes per run, I think, and then wait for people to join. If no one joins, we'll hop on or keep going. I mean, Rhett, I will actually, with no research, I will just believe that off the rip. Now, facetiously though, but like, without looking that up, I feel like that could be true, Rhett. Cause Subway's bread is fucking ass. Though I will say, I haven't been to Subway for so long because of that reason. You can never skimp on the quality of a bread of a sandwich, right? Because like, naturally, I don't know what sandwiches you gotta make, but like, bread is a big part of a sandwich, right? But no, I like, you could tell me that there's sawdust in Subway bread, I'd be like, yeah, that tracks. I would not be surprised. Oh, that's right. The sugar, that's part of it, yeah. And honestly, that's a big thing with like all US bread, though. You have to like go, even the Italian bread, which is not supposed to have sugar in it in America, will still sometimes have sugar in it. It's kind of crazy. Hey, why do you have a red, wait, oh, let me go put a red dot on this real quick. I do not want pip sites, please. Where are you? All right. We're good here, we're good here. Let's go ahead and run up again while we wait. Bob, you are now a nickel richer. Nah, yeah. Like, I am personally a fan of the way... Thanks to 7, appreciate it. I'm personally a fan of the way Europe does a lot of things, right? Like, they don't basically ban your... Like, you are perfectly allowed to smoke if you want to. I think... I don't know. I feel like the branding Australia has on their cigarettes is a bit overboard. Like, yes, the people who are smoking probably are aware that the smoke causes cancer. But I guess that's just a downside of, it's a cost of having, I guess, public health care is like, you need to make sure, like, you know, things that cost you money in public health care are well realized. But for example, Europe smoking's a lot bigger than it is in the States, right? But at the same time, they ban all the bullshit food additives like that, right? All the chemical sweeteners and stuff like that, and sugar and all that good stuff. I mean, not sugar, but you know what I mean. Like, they basically ban like all of like the shady shit companies put in their food. Hello, medium mech. Hey, Reggie. Please no murder. All right, we can get out of here. Find the box.
Fill those pockets quick.
Boy band? What the hell is boy band? Thanks, Bob. been energy. It's been good. We're just playing around so far. Kind of waiting on, I guess, content patch 2.0. I don't really follow Warframe at all. I don't follow most games at all, to be honest. Like, outside of like updates pushed to Discord, I don't really follow this game at all either. I am pretty bad in regards to following media on games. It's not something I'm generally too involved in. Now leave me alone. And like that's like, I will occasionally watch trailers that I haven't heard of games of. Like if I haven't heard of the game right, I will generally watch your trailer. But if I have any concept of the, like I haven't watched an Assassin's Creed trailer since maybe the first one. 'Cause I know what your game is. I don't need to see your marketing of it. Which, you know, to some extent keeps me in the dark about certain changes I make, but also if I decide to dive back into the game, it actually is surprising and refreshing, right? And also it doesn't much like this game, right? If I wasn't aware of the trailers and didn't watch the trailers beforehand and just jumped into it, I wouldn't have all of these notions of how things should function, which is sometimes a benefit to the developers, as I'll say. Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. Up we go. I wouldn't really look into it that far in regards to Warframe. Alright, let's go look for some stuff. I think they launch it behind me. I'm scared. Loot or med? Yeah, there we go. Oh wait, I'm doing schematics. I don't need to be up here. Whoops. For some reason I thought we had, I saw the 0 to 3 and assumed that we were still doing like the old version of Convoy. I both like really like and really just don't have the time for XCOM. It's such a, well, and maybe that's just like more about XCOM in general. I like XCOM. I played 1 and 2 and I played the expansions too, but like I don't think I feel like I would buy a new one if it came out tomorrow. It's not to say they're bad games. I just think I'm just like past the point where I want to engage in RNG simulator. I'm past the point where I feel like heavy RNG or like not, I guess even controlled RNG, because it's not pure RNG in XCOM, it's controlled RNG. Like you have some say about your odds and how you approach things, but at the end of the day, sometimes it can just be a coin flip despite all what you do. And I feel like I'm past the point where like I enjoy that kind of gameplay loop. Because I used to play card games like Magic and all that good stuff back in the day too, but like just the variants, right? The like the planned or like the designed variants. It just like I'm kind of just over it at this point. It's not for me anymore. I like to have some degree of thanks, Gum. Appreciate it. I like to have I like to feel like I'm in control of the outcome of a game to some extent. Not to say there's not any variations or like, you know, difficulty in it, but like if I feel like I just lose because of RNG, I get not salty immediately, but I will get saltier pretty quickly. Exo, why are you just chilling back here? Shouldn't you be go fight things? Am I stuck? No, we're good. It's also, for example, too, like, I don't mind, like, ARPGs and having to grind for things, but when you start having to jump through hoops to be able to play the game the way you want to play it, it gets kind of old for me. When, for example, I've never been a big fan, like, I don't mind Final Fantasy, but, like, the type of MMOs that type of, you know, the Japanese MMOs, right, or Japanese RPGs, they like to kind of do the mechanics where they make something an insane drop chance, like very low drop chance, but also make it like time gated. And I'm just like, no, I'm okay, thanks. I love burning my time, but not that much. And like, doesn't mean I don't like MMOs, right? But like, I don't like things like that where it feels grindy for the sake of grindy, and that's subjective, right? Just kind of put me off a game. Yeah, there's 2 out of 3. Everybody see the spawn? No. Sometimes you'll still see the spawn happen here, but they'll get teleported away. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's more about, it's not a dig at the game itself, it's more of just like, because I'm totally unfamiliar with the game, right? It's more of like, I am just past the point in my life where I want to play that genre. And there's definitely genres of games I liked before too, where I've kind of just grown out of, it feels like. There we go. It's always so I don't know. So these have to be silos, right? And not the rockets themselves. Yeah, like, okay, so they have to be silos, but even then though, right? Maybe that's why they don't launch missiles, because it would kill everyone inside the freaking ship from the back blast. I think it might be a tube though. Hold on, let's go up top real quick. Really? I mean, I'm not, like, here's the thing though, I'm not even a critic though. To be a critic, I have to actually engage with the game. It's kind of hard to critique a game, for example, when you haven't played it or heard of it, right? It's not really a critique, it's more of, if it's anything, it's a critique on the genre. But I mean, like, I'm sure they're well aware their genre's a niche anyway. Like, tactics games hasn't been popular in a very long time. I would say they were never mainstream anyway, right? It's always been a niche genre. XCOM probably being, like, the most mainstream ever got. Can I even get up there without, like, without a jump pack? Not really. Maybe, like, if I can just time it better. The terrain here is always so wishy-washy. Alright, we are up here. I guess it looks like, yeah, they're barely in a silo. Like, there is, like, this exterior container around them, it looks like. That, or there's just, like, a ring there that perhaps... It could just be the rocket, too, to be honest. Yeah, I now have a new thought on why they don't fire missiles. Probably mostly Mass Man Gum. He's a great blend of a lot of different characters. He doesn't really have a big weakness outside is that, yeah, like, he doesn't have a big weakness really. He's all pro, no con. Like, his biggest downside is his skill tree is like the blandest of all of the characters, but when all of the skill trees are pretty bland, it's okay. I mean, that's fine, Bob, if they wanna take that stance. I would feel like I feel it's kind of excessive considering I don't even know what their game's called, but you know, it is what it is.
Damn, close call. On a day of close calls.
Oh yeah, some good old RP. Nothing wrong with some good old RP. Alright, let's give some time for some people to join. And let's go over, I say, to like Ashton Mesa. People like Ashton Mesa, right? People probably like Scorch at everything, I imagine. Probably Shaman. Like, as we wait for people to join, quick tier list of like characters I prefer, right? Like, Masked Man is like I would consider S tier because he doesn't have any downsides. Shaman's an A, Gunhead's a B, Bagman's a B, Scav Girl and Old Man, I would say they're not like D's or F's, they're just C's. And this is my personal opinion. This is what characters I played to, right? And here's the thing. Shaman is just like a direct upgrade over Scav Girl. If they got rid of this malarkey, I'm not even sure if I'd upgrade Scav Girl, to be honest. Like, there's not anything like... She is just... Her whole thing is she's just really fast. That's it. She has no HP. She can carry, like... She can use decent rigs, right? But her whole thing is she's just really fast. Old Man is kind of like a middle between, I would say, Masked Man and I guess Shaman. You lose some of the versatility of Masked Man, and you gain, I guess, a little bit more utility. And like, don't get me wrong, Masked Man has like one of the best perks in the game right here, but once again, having to juggle rigs is just awful. But like, if I want to be fast, I'll play Shaman. If I want to just have every gun in the game, for the most part, I'll play Masked Man. If for some reason I want to use an HMG, I can play Gunhead or Bagman. Should I even prestige that? Why not? Okay, now we're max prestige with him. Like, we're only halfway to 50, but like, after, the only character to try and get past 25 is Gunhead, right? And they even said in their Q&As, right, the only reason they up prestige to 50 was to accommodate Gunhead's massive skill tree. It's just for Gunhead, Reggie. Because Gunhead has so many different skills, way more skills than other characters, he has to have it to have enough experience to unlock his whole skill tree. Yeah, I mean, it's rough because I'm not the biggest. I've never really gone into depth about their character, not the character design, but like the character abilities and the characters, like the whole leveling up system, right? I never really critiqued it all that hard, but like it is lackluster. But I think it's I never critiqued it because I think it's like it's so clearly placeholder, right? It's like why critique something that is so obviously just like not even half baked but like a quarter baked. Oh, for sure, Omar. Well, like if we just had like all of the emplaced guns in the game, like that, able to fire and do things, even if it's not on the map itself. It'd be so cool. Even if it was just effects. Alright, let's go ahead and... We gave it a few minutes, and I guess we'll just continue on. What are we looking for? Any kill quests? All of the search quests, got it. Yeah, I mean, I'm almost assured, like I can assure you right now, they know all of the characters that are coming to the game, right, Delta? All of these characters are their children, designed by their artists for them. I genuinely do not think we're gonna see instances of. They might take community feedback on like mechanics. I would be insanely surprised if they ever took feedback on character art, right? Because it's their children. How dare you talk about my child like that? It's also, for example, why we'll never see first person, because in first person mode you'll never get to like see the characters really at all. And they want, like, the core premise, right, is showing off the art, and the art is part of the characters. Hey, Stems.
I hate the surface.
I don't know. So the problem, though, too, Omar, is those guns on the Titans. A few of them do, right? But not a lot of them have... They have the classic Soviet issue, right? Where they have very low amounts of, what's it called? Fuck. Depression? Gun depression? So they can't aim down very well. So for example, if they ever had a medium mech for Yureska, like next to it, or like not that far away from it, it would be very hard for the carrier itself, the Titan itself, to deal with that threat. Which is why they have their own medium mechs, right, and their own troops. But there's like, there are no guns along the lower parts of that, right? Between both of my accounts, Gum, probably around 400 hours. About 100 to like 150 of that, though, is probably just getting footage, though, and trying to like load into maps to get footage, which is always fun. So like there's a real downside, for example, when you're trying to get night shift footage in this game. It involves sometimes like 30 minutes of reloading the map to try and get the actual night shift to spawn. Though that's... I do want a day and night cycle. That's not the reason why, though, to make my footage easier. It's more just for, like, having a grounded basis of the passage of time so you can do things like drain water. I mean, Justin, I could. Do you want to be depressed with how bad it is now? Are you looking to be depressed? Looking to be sad? Helicopter. Go away. The auto shotguns are like not very good anymore. They're passable, but you are almost assuredly always better off with the rifle now. Oh no, yeah. Like, you need to stay away from... Oh god, fuck me, it's aggroed. I need to get inside. No, the new helicopter, it aggroes very quickly. And once it sticks to you, it sticks to you. And which means we need to get inside. Leave me the fuck alone. Frozen swamp. It's not even close. God, fucking helicopter. What did I fucking do to you? I might get rocketed here. What the fuck did I do to you? I was just running through the map, helicopter. I need you to despawn, please. Is it aggroing the... Is it gonna fuck off as it's lag road? I think it's lag road, right? Need to get inside. Yep, it's still lag road. Let me in. No, so like the reason, the problem with the helicopter is it will aggro from far away, but like it's just incredibly sticky too. It will persist its aggro on you until basically you kill it or it despawns. But they'll just hit me. Leave me alone. I'm out of beds. All right, we're leaving. By leaving, I mean we're gonna get murdered here. Let me live. Oh my god. All of this because of freaking helicopter. All right. This is gonna fucking kill me, I think. Maybe not. So the whole reason why we veered off and went into this crawler, like why the hell, yeah, it's covered, but why did you go through the entire thing? So I'm not sure exactly what point it happens inside the crawler itself, but once you get inside the crawler, essentially everything outside of the crawler itself will despawn. So it's just a way of getting the helicopter to basically fuck off. Am I trapped? There's no way. No, we just have to crouch. Duh. Alright, we're good. Are we good? What the hell is going on? There we go. Hey, we figured it out. I don't think my rep with you guys is that bad. I think it's bad with your Ruska, but I think that's about it. It doesn't really work, Ragey, when the things don't have mantles and you don't have a lot of room to sprint. Because, like, when you try and crouch jump up without any, like, horizontal velocity, you can't, like, it's not like other games, right, where you can, like, accelerate yourself in the air in the horizontal direction. You have to have some initial inertia to actually, like, move in that direction, right? And so when we can't get a running start or any movement anywhere, right, we're kind of trapped even with the crouch jump. If we can't mantle. We need at least a little bit of leeway to sprint up so we can actually get some, like, forward motion. Yeah, it's not like, so some games will allow you to, like, move in the, like, the horizontal plane when you're in the air. But, like, this game's physics currently don't allow you to do that. So, like, if we're, like, when I jump up right now, right, even with the crouch jump bug, like, I can't, like, accelerate forward, backwards, left, or right. It's just what I was currently going toward. Well, we got nothing done this map. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who got new animations and attacks, but still is derpy as shit? You are. You are. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, we're good.
Another day. Another reason.
Yeah, there is an instance, John, yeah, where you can get catapulted into the sky. You can do it mantling sometimes too, if you mantle the right object at the right time, or there's some weird stuff with collision physics and stuff like that, where you can just get thrown into the stratosphere. Oh no, not really. He is more threatening, but it is once again the curse of melee units. It is a true curse. All right, let's go over to Scorched. People like playing Scorched, right? We'll give a few minutes to join. But no, yeah. I don't know, I don't mind the helicopters being that aggressive. I mind that they're that sticky. That I have to go through I have to literally go despawn them to make them actually go away. I can understand an orgamech or a helicopter defending a certain area or having a certain goal, and if you're in that area you are part of its clientele to murder. But when it's following you through the entire map, sure, Daniel. When it's following you through the entire map, it just kind of misses a bit. It feels like it's placing too much emphasis on killing you, a lowly scav, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Why are you so enamored with me? And I do think if you're in the right area where it's trying to murder things, yeah, it's gonna murder you too, because why not? But if you leave the area where it's operating, I don't think it should persist all that much, maybe a little bit. If you're doing belligerent things, it should chase you, right? Hey, Cos. Duffs, I think it depends, right, if they can, it's once again a question of how much really work do they want to put into it, right? If they flesh out the movement and animations for the orgamech, yeah, they can get to the point where the melee for it probably feels good, right? It just kind of depends on how crazy they want to get with it. How much work they want to put inside of it. It's all the guns, right, too. It just, having all these guns would be cool, but do you have enough time to polish all of them, or enough resources to polish all of them to the level extent they would probably need to be? Hey, Nerf. I feel like every day is a bad day for an orgamech, to be honest. I just go listen to Lordos's story, right? He doesn't sound to be too enamored with being an orgamech. Just the way how things be. But no, so Dust, going back to your point though, I think the question should be, the questions they need to ask themselves, right, is, are they okay with the box issue? That being, essentially, melee units being countered by standing on a box. If they're okay with that, then yeah, what they currently have and what they currently are pursuing is fine. But if they're not okay with the box issue, then they need to find an alternative route, and sometimes the easiest way is just giving a ranged attack. Because you get some games, right, just don't care about the box issue at all. Some games will just have some games will try to do level design to make that not be the case. where there'll never be a box where you can actually stand on, but someone will always find a box. Ragey, those revolvers are way too small. It would have to use like 2 of its fingers to actually shoot those revolvers, because they're just way too small. Yeah, the ergonomic could pick up rocks to throw, right? Like, that would be them basically saying, yeah, we don't like the box issue, so we're going to give the ergonomic a ranged attack. That is the capitulation, right? That's essentially them just saying that, yeah, they want to solve the box problem in that way. Well, Nerf, that exact reason, for example, I got ZNAP, is like, I feel like there's a real chance the pneumatic jump is not along for the world. And it kind of feels like maybe a crutch for early access to help out with terrain and junky, like, you know, kind of messed up terrain. Because there's so many different levels right now that you can kind of break with pneumatic jump. It feels like, and the question is this, right? Should they go through every level and adjust the maps to kind of limit how pneumatic jump plays?
I hate the surface.
Or should they just remove pneumatic jump? And the answer is kind of like obviously the latter, right? Just remove the jump from the game. When I can think of like 2 to 3 maps to break, right? And don't get me wrong, it is fun. I would love if they pursue the other option where they actually design the maps around it. But their whole like inner discussion with one of the probably the little designers being, it's not a fucking platformer, man, gives off the vibes that it might not be long for this world. All right, so we're looking for Pyro, we're looking for the commander. Is that Pyro? Hopefully it wasn't. There's the commander. Okay, commander's dead. And thankfully 2D is not upset with me. Fucking grenade launcher. See, that's a reason too where I'm not, is it like, what we just saw is why I'm not a big fan of the stagger mechanic, because they've timed it so perfectly where stuff like that can happen, where you get staggered by the grenade launcher, and then by the time you get unstaggered, the second shot's coming for your face. Yeah, it's a question like Duff's, and like they could take the opposite way too, right? Where they do go the route where they use the Pneumatic jump to explore, but there's just so many maps right now where that's clearly not the consideration. Like, I can think of like 3 to 4 or 5 different areas of, like, maybe not 3 or 4, but like definitively 2, probably 3 to 4 to 5 areas that kind of feel out of boundsy. that aren't out of bounds. Like there's the new map where you can get on top of the on top of certain areas. There is cemetery where you can get on top of certain areas you're not supposed to be to either. And like if they remove pneumatic jump, they kind of potentially solve their own box issue, right? There's still going to be instances, right, where there's going to be height differences where you can abuse melee units, but like removing pneumatic jump is one of the ways you can approach, and you, in level design, right, is a way you can potentially start solving the box issue. Daniel, if they get executed by a sync kill, they are just dead. If they get downed outside of that, you can pick them up. But if a unit gets synced killed like by the grabber, they're dead. They're dead. You can't pick them up. There's no saving them. Let me up. Unfortunately, I think Pyra's probably been long dead at this point. Well, Nerf, the problem with that though, Bitter, like it's more of a like, it's a level design problem, right? Like if you make a character, and it's a level design problem, it's also like it's kind of the issue right now, Nerf, with the whole gunhead issue. Like, remember back in the December patch where gunhead had its own aggro radius that kind of gimped the whole party? Having a character that can jump and the others can't kind of does that again, right? Where you have an issue where the rest of the party can't play with this one party member because of the jump difference, right? So I don't think that could ever happen, really. It's also, for example, why like people don't like the fact that gunhead will just die and can't heal, because it kind of causes this tension in the party to not play the way they want to play. When you have 4 players, right, and one of them wants to play gunhead, it kind of makes it where gunhead kind of changes the experience for everyone, because they have to change how they play just because of gunhead. Hey, Blood. I think it's time to leave. Like, Nerf, it's fun to have that, but like there's definitely, it causes a big issue when you have co-op gameplay, right? It creates hoops where like one player is kind of causing the experience to change for everyone. It's not... It's sort of like the issue with water, for example, right? Because remember, the initial implementation of water was it punished you for not logging in. And for example, right, if you, say, for example, played Gunhead before, right, it punished the party for having Gunhead. What they need to kind of ask themselves, it's a design philosophy issue, right, to some extent. It's also like not design, it's psychological too, right? You're going to get better engagement, you're going to get better feedback, you're going to make the game feel better in general if you don't punish, you reward. So as opposed to, say, punishing players for not logging in and doing water, you reward them for logging in and getting water, right? It's like most games have realized at this point, like, right, you want to do positive feedback. Same thing with dogs, right? When you train a dog, positive feedback is so much better than negative. It is such a just core psychological principle. And that can be kind of applied to like, for example, water again, and then also character design. When players have to contemplate, right? Oh, hey, you know, Gunhead doesn't offer us something cool, it actually offers us a bad thing, right? Gunhead's going to increase our aggro radius, he's going to aggro more things, he can't be healed. Like, it's not like oh cool, we're playing gunhead, so like we get X ability. It's more of, oh shit, we have a gunhead that's going to cause so many more issues. It's going to be a net negative overall, right? And that's not to say like drawbacks are bad. It's just, wait, why am I picking Frozen Swamp Quest? That's not to say drawbacks are bad, but like there needs to be something that like exceptional about each character, right? It feels like. Something that makes you want to bring that character. I know we didn't use the shotgun that much that time, so we'll bring it back in again. Unfortunately, just going loud on Scorched Enclave is just a bad time overall. Oh, they left because of the lag, probably. Yeah, nerf, like that is example, right? That reason exactly, right? Is it creates experiences where, like, yeah, like you're having to kind of nerf your own strength because it, you know, it has the rest of the party can't compensate for your strength, right? So you have to neuter your own strength. So like right now, all of the characters, for example, they don't really complement each other. They're each their own standalone character to some extent, right? Like if we look at the characters right now, none of them really do anything in any way to complement each other. Keep in mind too, early access, the character design right now in regards to skills and so on and so forth, active abilities just don't exist right now. So it's very bare bones. But like as of right now, you when you're forming a party or a co-op group, right, there's not really a reason to really pick a character to complement another character, to support another character, right? It's more of, it's these four individual silos that are now just working in tandem, but they don't really do anything to help each other outside of that. And that can surely change too, right? So once again, early access, and the characters are probably like one of the more unbaked items in the game right now in regards to character design outside the aesthetics. Massman or Shaman. It depends on what, like, it depends on your definition of jackest of all trades. Like, Massman and Shaman are two sides of the same coin. It's of, do you want more guns and rig space, or do you want to be faster? All right, we'll do an up right real quick play. We're going loud too with the shotgun, so probably Western will have a player with us. They're gonna be like, why are you using an unsilenced AA-12? Because someone asked. But no, Shaman and Massman are the two jack of all trades. It depends on if you want more guns or do you want more speed. Yeah, Bagman is like the heavy, right? He is the heavy weapons guy. He is slow. He has access to everything in the game, really, except for like smaller things. But yeah, sure, blood. It's an open lobby. Like anyone can join or pop in when they want to. I think the main problem too is I'm an NA streamer streaming in the middle of the day. So like the people who are off work right now are Europeans, and peer-to-peer. I mean, it works with like 100+ ping. It's not great though, I imagine. Nerf exactly, right? Like things like that is like, we want to be stealthier, so let's pick Scav Girl, right? Because they make us all stealthier. Exactly, things like that. Things making you think of like how these things mesh together and how like you can utilize the strengths of each Scav to support each other. And like, for example, Scav Girl like helping everyone out stealth-wise can do a lot in that regard. So, interestingly enough, too, against regular infantry, the shotgun still feels fine. It's mainly against cyborgs now where the shotgun feels pretty awful. And maybe it's because the cyborgs got buffed or because the shotgun got nerfed or something, right? But the shotguns right now just do not do a lot to the cyborgs. The shotgun change? Oh, absolutely. It might have been too heavy-handed, but it was warranted. I will say though, like, once again, I think we're still half-baked thus far, because people have been saying too, right? I haven't tried it myself, but apparently, like, the shotgun still just absolutely wrecks the Exo, which is kind of weird. Maybe it kind of makes sense though, Ragey 2, right? They were a bit, considering they have this like synthetic outer skin to them, they were kind of fragile. Like, they still get put down by rifles really quickly, right? So when we're shooting buckshot, right, it makes a lot of sense for them to be much more resilient. And as you can see here, like when we're shooting infantry like this, one shot is enough to put them down, right? It's just really the cyborgs that are just harder to kill now. It kind of like, I guess, removes the use case sometimes of shotguns, because like you think of it being a great way to mow down cyborgs, but no, it's really just more about rifles now. Yeah, I'm not in like love with it either, but like that's just kind of, well, here's the thing. I don't. We're in the dark about their holistic picture, right? We don't know exactly their aims with the guns right now, so it's always so hard to comment on stuff like this when we don't know what the complete picture is supposed to look like. No, I don't think it's that pack. They are definitely just more resilient now. We can do more experiments later, like you could be right, but like overall they are just tankier now. Even against like not shotgun, if you go for body shots now too with regular guns, they do feel tankier now also. Headshots still put them down though, that's the thing. I have no idea, Gov, what you're talking about. Absolutely no idea. Yeah, it could be just a two, like their plan for shotguns as a support weapon with like, if their idea was, if it wasn't, like if they made it so that shotguns were like a way of consistently providing stun effects, making it more of a support tool, yeah, that tracks. Well, Wave, that's the problem. We don't really have a roadmap. Well, that's not a problem per se. We don't have a roadmap, and they haven't, like... generally speaking, Wave, new enemies, really. That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to. But, like, outside of that, we're kind of just, like, in the dark, right? We don't really know what's going on, really. And it might be the whole case where, So, for those unaware, to my knowledge, to my understanding, there's no longer a CM. Now, does that mean one of the developers are going to pick up the slack on Discord and provide updates and clarity? Yes, maybe. But it could just mean they're going radio silent for a bit too to get work done, which is fair, but it just leaves us in the dark for potentially a long time. Yeah, like, wait, that's the only answer I can really give, because I don't know what else is coming, right? I have no idea. I could theorize, but, like, your guess is as good as mine. They hinted, like, 6 months from now we'll have the beginning of endgame loops, which I'm very interested in what they're going to do with that. But like, well, that's fine too. But remember, like, they're also the person who were doing the Q&As. They're also the person who's doing the posts. Like, even like just their media outside of that, right? I'm sure they'll still have plenty of like videos and stuff like that. But for the most part, right? Like the people, the female voice in the Q&A videos, I'm like 99.9% sure was Madison, that being, so. I have a 3080 with a 5800X. So not like cutting edge, but not, you know, bad either. It's still like a good rig for like 3 years ago. It's still good now, it's just a bit dated. It's now 2 gens old, so. And thankfully, I am quite happy too that the 5 series for NVIDIA wasn't that big of a jump, because it means my CPU stays relevant longer, or my GPU rather. Oh, for sure. It's gonna stay in date for a while, and I don't plan on upgrading for a very long while. The tippy taps. The little tippy taps. Why are you the way that you are? I'm actually curious. Someone was saying that X's are much easier to kill now with this. I guess this is a time to experiment. No, that still fucking trucked it. It was a little bit tankier than before. I was probably missing a few shots too. Oh no. That's still actually crazy how easy that is to kill. Actually kind of ludicrous. Hey guys, how's it going? Go be free. So, I haven't checked to see how they work this patch. All I saw was updated damage. So shotguns, in the previous patch, shotguns, except for the surplus, would shoot 20 pellets at 100 damage each. So each shotgun shot was potentially 2k damage. Now, if I recall correctly, the new system, or rather the new shotgun, has a damage of only 20 per pellet. We'll go check that to make sure. And maybe it's just that the actual damage in game is not right. Not to my knowledge, though, Pack. That was my first thought too, to some extent, Pack. When I heard about this, the shotgun's still doing lots of damage to exos. And I played around a bit. It feels like they're tweaking vehicles a bit here and there. So maybe that's why the exos are still killable with shotguns pretty easily. Say, for example, right, if you take a rifle right now and you go shoot a medium mech, you can strip the medium mech with just a regular gun right now. It's hard to kill it, but you can like basically make it to the point where it can only melee with this like an RPK.
Hard run. But at least we made it.
So shotguns, not bad, not good, just kind of in between. Is that like actually in the code, Little Papa, or just theorized? Hey, cool. Not much, just playing around a bit. It's community stream day, so we're playing with an open lobby. We'll go over, I think, the mech trench, and we'll wait for people to join. If they do. We'll give them like 5 minutes or so. Yeah, like it's still as easy as it was before to kill Europans, but it's harder to kill cyborgs. So, where were we? Next trench. Yes, the one downside of peer-to-peer. And like it's for example too, like why the people who say they want PvP in this game, I don't think are thinking of the whole picture here, right? They would probably have to, if they're going to have a peer-to-peer game, right, they're going to have to do so much work on their netcode to have it feel remotely okay. They would probably just need to have servers, to be honest, at that point, which is basically a different game. Interesting, Daniel. I'll keep that in mind. I'm currently working on the next video. This is going to probably take me... I give it a second. It might take a minute or two, or you might need to be... Yeah, just give it a minute or two. I'm on public. I'll keep that in mind, Daniel. I do eventually want to revisit the map guides here and there. I've kind of been trying to wait and hold off until where it feels maps are somewhat functionally complete. And I don't think we're there yet with Frozen Swamp, right? Even has the in progress state still on, so. But no, the next video is already in the works. I'm still in the scripting stage. It's gonna be a longer video, so it's gonna take me a while. I kind of want to say 2 weeks, but we'll see. I actually like, and the big thing too with the new video, right, is I want to actually like explore some new editing styles also, so that by of it itself takes me more time. El Jefe, I think you're, that's certainly a view you can take. I think we're well past the point where that needs to be considered. It's going to be a much more general video. It's not a unit deep dive, and it's more general than that. So that's all I'm going to say for now. I don't want to spoil anything, because I might change the tone of the video too. Like, I'm only like 1,000 words into the script thus far, so. And naturally, I'll have to go edit it later. Let me drop then, I guess. Let me do private and then back to public. So, friends only, public. It's not even about that, Bob. It's just more in the sense of if that is your prerogative where you want to like have in a game, you can certainly have your fan fiction be that. But I don't think that needs to be said out loud in a game like this. It just feels forced. Like, Kingdom Come's an example of it, right? Like, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, right? It has the medieval sort of setup, right? Where, like, you have your stations and roles in life, but it doesn't approach it in a very heavy-handed or preachy manner, right? It's just the way things are. It doesn't need to go into detail about things like that. There's an entire DLC for the first game, right? Like a woman's, whatever's called, a woman DLC, basically. But like, it's never heavy-handed, it feels like. It's never preachy. And it kind of on this point too, right? We don't need to get weird like that. Thanks, John. Oh yeah, go pet the dog, good call. Wait, Duffs, I got you. Yes, let me go pet the dog, Duffs. I wonder why you guys can't see me. I'm on peer-to-peer. Do we need to relaunch the game or something? Let me just try... Wait, can I just join you, perhaps? Still nothing? I can see... I'm curious. I can see a few of you guys, actually. I saw Little Papa here, right? Let me restart the game real quick. Well, let me just try joining John, actually. John, is your lobby open right now for me to join, or you just have open lobby? Hold on, we're supposed to go join John. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hold on, let me just join Lil Papa. Maybe you can just join off Lil Papa, perhaps. I wonder if they're hiding lobbies, Psycho, that like have a certain ping requirement. Also, hold on, let me go pet the dog real quick. Blood, are you Australian, perhaps? I wonder if there's a certain ping requirement where it's not going to give you like a perhaps a high ping server that's going to have a bad experience. And John, on your point too, right? I really like the whole parallels too, right? With nature and other things. Yeah, I don't see latency right now, but I'm curious if I can. I saw little pops eventually. I mean, I'm seeing 300 ping servers. Interesting. I am curious what's going on with that, actually. And like, this is, I guess, this, well, not really, I guess, this is just the downside of peer-to-peer. This is like peak peer-to-peer, where it's like a lot of the issues are just figuring out why you can't connect to a certain person. Though I will say, like, maybe I need to, like, I'll rethink this in the future. Perhaps I just need to take the approach now where I create maybe a small Discord just for this reason. I'll have to consider it. I don't really want to moderate my own Discord, but at the same time, like, I might need to add you guys to friends list to actually get you in here next time. So I can invite people, I think, from Steam naturally, right? It might just be the matchmaker here basically being broken. I'll give it some thought. Yeah, I'm curious as to why, though. I know I have, at least, I know I have open ports for certain different things. Like, I can't see what would be causing on my machine not to have me be able to connect peer-to-peer wise. It seems now, too, like there's always a medium mech here. It's like 100% spawn chance now, it feels like. Like, before you would occasionally see the medium mech, but now it just seems to be, like, guaranteed. Oh, man, I do not like that mass man issue with the SVD scope. That is rough. Third person it is. Up we go. I don't think it's region-based, but yeah, blood, because like I'm seeing people with like 300 ping, so it's definitely many people from across the world. And just probably some weird setting going on. Actually, blood, is your? I'm curious. Is your game on Steam or EGS or Epic Games? Steam. Okay, I'm Steam also, so that tracks.
Maybe it's a privacy setting? I don't know. I think it uses EGS though for like connectivity though. So weird. Do I hear cyborgs behind us? Oh, there were. They ran away. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I don't know, Google. It's a good question. I mean, I think Shaman's supposed to be kind of like the hacker man, if you will. The tech guy. Just right now, we don't really have a lot of functionality with him. Like, if there's hacking in the future, I'm probably he's gonna be good at it. So for those seeing, like, where I guess everyone sees it, but like, for those unaware, the reason why we're having this jump to the left, for example, with like every gun, is because of Masked Man. It's an unfortunate little bug he has right now, where that's just a quirk of his, really. Until you touch it up a bit. For the most part, every other character I think is just like a straight, basically laser for most guns. I will say though, like, if the SVD becomes like fixed, oh, it's good. It healed up. 2 weeks later, the scab's off now. It's still like new skin. It's got that new skin feel to it, but like it's all healed up now. I actually think what it is, Ragey, if you notice how Masked Man moves his head when he ADSs, that is exactly the reason why, because he tilts his head to the right, and so the way they adjusted the camera, it just has that quirk to it. And before too, right? So before, there was a hotfix patch for this patch, right, where Masked Man's actual crosshair would be off to the right. Like, if we were aiming right now, the actual dot, the center dot, the green would be off like a middle dot to the right, or one or two times, and then it would jump to the center. So it's just still bugged. Oh, I cut it by accident. Ray Joe was cooking, and Monday, like 2 weeks ago, I cut it. Enough to the point where I needed to bandage it and all that good stuff. No stitches required. It wasn't that bad, but like, it was one of those cuts where it was just deep enough to like bleed a fuck ton and require a pretty decent bandage on it. All right, I need to go do data real quick. Yeah, well, actually, John, weirdly enough, I've had a lot of thoughts about the tac cam, and I think it's a really clever way. God. I do agree with you, it should not be an attachment slot. I think it's a really clever way of, no, this bug, of hiding information, but still having it readily available for like when you need it or want it, right? So for example, right, and it's a give and a take though too, I will say. Like, the mental area where I'm going with this, right, is that you can hide a lot of different aspects of the HUD and like informational tooltips behind the tac cam, so that when you're playing the game and you don't want to use it or don't feel like you need the information, you can leave it off and have a relatively clean sort of setting, right? It's almost like, for example, if the regular game was no HUD and the tac cam mode was HUD. And so like you can use that, like, because right now it feels like they're kind of teeter-tatering, or like they're basically like on this wire of having enough information on the screen for people to understand what's going on, but also making it not too obnoxious so that it gets in the way of the art. Little Papa, I'm sorry. We're almost done. It's the last quest. We're almost here. Also, no exo, I don't think. That's huge. So, and I think like the tac cam is a really cool way of kind of potentially having this toggleable way of showing information, but not having it always be on. And naturally, the crux of that idea, right, is that if people feel like they need to always have the tac cam on, it probably isn't that good. Yeah, Wave, it's not the first time, too. For example, people have kind of suggested bespoke views for certain characters. Like, when Gunhead came out, for example, a lot of feedback was like, I want this cool way of, like, I want the Terminator vision. But, like, yeah, it would be novel and cool, but I feel like it would get pretty old pretty quickly. And, like, naturally, the first thing that would come with it, right, is, like, someone would, like, the first time you introduce something like that, if they shipped Gunhead with its own bespoke view, the first thing that would have been on feedback, right, as opposed to that, would have been, hey, can we get a way where we can see normally with Gunhead? And so it begs the question, right, is it really worth all the extra work to give each character their own bespoke way of viewing the world? It would be cool, right? But when we can't even have accurate guns for every character right now, it's like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anyone was part of the cultists. Thanks, Little Pop. I don't need a PM9. I'm not really a big fan of 9mm. I never use it really, except for like the occasional PPSH run. Hey, Carrie. Good Friday. Happy Friday. I kind of get the sense, Ghoul, that he's like a tech shaman almost. Like, if you get to the point, right, where you sort of view technology as like, okay, well, think of it this way, right? Say, for example, you are the one IT person in a group full of people who are mostly ignorant of computers and how they work. They don't even know the basic principles on how those computers work at all, right? And so then you have Shaman, who seems to be able to operate these magical machines and coerce with them, talk to them, get information from them, predict the future from these machines. Yeah, he's a shaman in that regard. He's magical. All right, I am willing to do any map you guys are willing to do. I have no preference. My only downside is I will be using a Papa Shah. Man, I've worked a few 12 hours in my life. Those are always rough. Do you work healthcare? I know it's very common in healthcare to have like 10 or 12 hour shifts. Yeah, exactly, Duff's like the whole like less technology or like lost technology kind of angle where you don't know how machines work, but they still work, so people who can actually interface with them are kind of like shamans in that regard, mystical. Factory, okay. I'm occasionally jealous of firefighters, right? Because firefighters have this work schedule where they're usually, I think, like 3 days on, 5 days off. But the whole point, right, is like, we're not sorry, 4 days off. They have like, or is it 2 days on, 5 days off? It's something like that, right? Where they work 2 or 3 days a week, but it's because they're working the entire day. They're literally at like the station. If they're dedicated firefighters, they're not volunteers, but dedicated, right? Where their whole job is like literally being on call for like 2 40-hour shifts or 2 24-hour shifts, essentially. Still Papa AFK? Nah, I don't really. Yeah, outside of P-Jump. I had to embrace that I do occasionally glitch the game through P-Jump. Alright. No, go back. Go. 3. Bunch of gutheads. I can't see. What is going on? I can't see. I'm blind. Does that fix it? Interesting. Yeah, but I kind of, maybe it's on your side, but I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I said, peer-to-peer always has its weird issues. I mean, I think Scav Girl's like melee execution ghoul is like literally sawing their head off. So, and I don't think Gunhead has one. Yeah, Gunhead doesn't have one right now, so. Like, we have the clips of Gunhead or Gunhead units, like, kind of beating the living shit out of your opens. But outside of that, right, we don't really see that much violence coming from Gunhead. And naturally, Gunhead's a robot, right? He's programmed to do that. I feel like it's Scav Girl, it's worse. Scav Girl volunteers to rip off heads. Gunhead just does what's programmed, right? Ooh, frozen swamp. Maybe we should pick up Water Wars. There we go. All right, little Papa, we're good. After 25, it's basically every scav is their base HP plus 1,000. You do not gain any additional HP or stats past 25. So Scav Girl should have 1.8k at level 25, and that's it. Which is very importantly below the 2k barrier for the grabber. We are missing Gummy, I think. You pinging fiends. Where's Gummy? Is he out here already? Did he get kicked out? That's so unfortunate. Peer-to-peer things. Gummy's here? I don't, is Gummy actually, because I don't see Gummy right now. It wouldn't be the first time where like, there's definitely been invisible instances in games. Oh, is your HP 750? No, like, no, go, yeah, like, tonally, I have issues with that, right? The marketing of you're not that guy, and then, yeah, you kind of feel like that guy a little bit. Is Gummy actually here? I just can't see him. That's crazy. Gummy, can you shoot? Gummy, shoot me. Gummy, if you're here, shoot me. What the hell? Well, yeah, talking to like a poltergeist. Yeah, and case in point, right? Yeah, no, we're good. We don't need to like try to have a PvP game in this. It feels like every other Friday, which is community stream day, just turns out to be like figuring out what the current bugs with peer-to-peer are. Which is perfectly fair. They need to know. So this is good for them, hopefully. But if Gummy is here, he's invisible for me, and I feel scared. Also, didn't Gummy choose Gunhead? Maybe that's the issue you were talking about, right? Too earlier, is that like Gummy, I'm pretty sure picked Gunhead, right? But his picture is showing me. No, they don't. But like, it's a thing you can reference though, too, right? Little Papa, I can't see Gummy at all. But like, wait, so Little Papa, is Gummy Gunhead for you or Old Man? We already have HKs, my god. All right, no, you're fine. So that's the weird thing, right? Gummy is actually, for me, Gummy is saying that he's Old Man. So weird. You know, playing this and not being the host is an entirely interesting experience. You get to see a different light of the world and as not being the host. So many bugs. I mean, probably the PM9 or VTES, just for the 50 rounds of 9mm. I mean, like, well, sorry, SMG Spectre M4, not even close, but 9mm, different story. Yeah, cause I multi-stream. Some people get better stream quality on Twitch than YouTube. So I stream to both. And actually, like, the primary one is YouTube, because that's where most people are on, but, like, some people do get a better experience on Twitch, especially if they're, like, mobile. Hey, Real, how's it going? Yeah, it's under SMG, yeah. It's a 45 caliber SMG. Thanks, Real, appreciate it. Oh yeah, there was that bug before, John, I think last patch, right? Where they would start hurt too sometimes. Where are you at, Rage? What is going on? Wait, you're like, how are you bugged? You're stuck in tac camp? Oh no. Oh, wait, are those bushes solid? I think level 3 Gorilla sells them nerf. It's like the best that should be in the game. It's really good. It's amazingly good. Yeah, real feel in the early access with multiplayer co-op with 4 people. I can't even see. I guess it's 3 people, right? Just us 3. Gummy's not here. If I can't see him, does he exist? Oh, we can. We have HKs on us, we have to be mindful of that, but we can. We have the quest for it, why not? Yeah, Ghoul, there's definitely a lot of like gameplay systems I want them to explore, but we'll see. And the biggest thing, like, naturally they can do whatever they want, right? It's their game. The biggest thing I want them to explore, right, is I just want them to explore things that kind of aren't traditional in an extraction shooter. Because they're so kind of like, I wouldn't even, like, by definition this is an extraction shooter, but it feels like if they they can't it being PvE, and I want to say more solo focused than this like group focused perhaps to some extent. Where am I going with this? Basically, they are an extraction shooter. I don't think they should stick to it. Or in that regard, I don't think they need to define themselves by an extraction shooter, because I think it's just a mistake wholeheartedly. There's plenty of already other extraction shooters on the market. They can do so much more by expanding what or not even expanding, but like just thinking of different things they want their game to be outside of just an extraction shooter. I think by sticking to that like genre definition, it's very limiting in some aspects and some very damning in others, right? Like the cornerstone, for example, of extraction shooters having a lot of gun customization and guns, I feel like is a mistake in some capacity. Because it feels like they're going to get bogged down by having to do all of these guns that are very well done and high quality. And you could say, like, right, how hard can it be? Tarkov has it, right? Tarkov has spent the last 10 years of doing them, though, right? It's been 10 years for Tarkov. And you're like, it's only been 7 since early access. Yeah, keep in mind they had development before early access, too. So, like, Tarkov's been the tank for such a long time now. And collectively, right, considering the 10 years, go break it down by the amount of guns they had per year. It's hard, right? But like, essentially, it feels like the developers are having like trying to have a level of customization that like Tarkov has, but way quicker than Tarkov had it. Yeah, exactly. And that's the point too, right, Nerf? Like, there's only so many people who are actually enamored with like the whole gun, like the gun kind of aesthetic feel to it, the whole like Lego gun fact, and that's an important thing to have, right? But at the same time, are you really ever going to be able to beat a game like Tarkov in that degree? And even should you try? I feel like there's so many other cool things you can spend your development time on. And naturally, right, if like the whole concept is, right, like if you have unlimited resources, why not? But that's not the case, right? Yeah, Kevin, it's definitely in that stage, right, where like it definitely has that whole vibe of like, oh yeah, this game has a lot of potential to it, right? It just, you know, it can, hold on, let's see a little Papa. It can be a lot of different things. Oh man, multiplayer is real showing its jank right now, I will say though. All right, I'm out of meds, so we probably need to leave soon. By soon, I mean probably very, very soon. Exactly right. There's a degree of complexity with that, and like and Nerf, it's one thing too, like if all of the guns had a very distinct kind of play style or like functionality to them, but they don't. I don't think they can reasonably, so less is more. Oh, are we going up? Oh no. I guess we can find meds up there. We'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, voyeuristic is definitely an approach you can take to it. It's once again kind of the whole that guy versus not that guy kind of feel. And I think my main problem, Kevin, is that like that's definitely an element of the game, but it doesn't feel reinforced by the gameplay loops. That being, the game looks and feels like it wants to be that, but the gameplay actual loops and mechanics don't reinforce that feeling of the game. Yeah, that's certainly an aspect, right? You can like you can basically like just make units deadlier to the point where, yeah, like that's a whole thing. Make them more resilient, deadlier, so on and so forth. Do any of you need a map, by the way? I do have a map on me now. What's it called? The train schedule. Where did it go? I picked it up. There it is. Yeah, do any of you need a convoy schedule?
Perfect a day as any.
It's fun. It definitely felt like too, Nerf, that like maybe that was. It's always very easy to like sometimes early overassume what you can possibly do. And the other aspect too, right, is like if this is from a like asset store pack, it could have been everything together, and like why not use all of it? Oh, Kevin, there was the whole debacle, right, where apparently they were getting pushed. Like, people wanted to come out in early access before they were, like, ready. So they kind of, you know, acquiesced. Oh, no. Well, and I will say, actually, Ghoul, on that point, I made this point before. If medkits weren't as strong as the way they are currently, it would feel really bad, because sometimes you just take lots of damage for really bad reasons. And as they, oh shit, as they change the game and like refine the game a bit to the point where that doesn't happen as often, they can probably start nerfing medkits and healing in general. But I think as part of early access right now, it's kind of a necessary evil to have medkits be as strong as they are because of the jank. Every man for himself, Rod. Why is there an exo on this freaking thing? Every scat for themselves. Go for the exits. Well, like that and like two, you just take a, like, it's not as bad as it was before. But there's a lot of instances where the AI will break their aggro and just randomly shoot you. And sometimes that means you're going to take, like, you know, a couple hundred damage a time. And even a simple system too, right? Where they kind of just like, every time you take damage, you can only heal 90% of it. would be, I think, a good, you know, move in the right direction. It would still like be pretty forgiving, but a good move in the right direction, right? Yes, Gubby? I don't, wait, where are you guys at? I don't even see you guys anymore. We're fine. Every scat for themselves, which means I don't even see you guys on the map anymore. That's cool, interesting. Oh yeah, I went over Little Papa to the other one. Wait, is it the right way? I went over to the train yard one. I'm basically out right now, so. In like 1 more second, I'll be free. Alright, rage is gone. Hello? Curse you, stick! The stick of stopping. Yeah, stuff like that should not have collision. It actually kind of made me think too of like, I've been playing a little bit of Kingdom Come 2 in my off time. I picked it up about a week ago. And like, it's kind of night and day playing a game like this and a game like that, because right now, like every single obstacle in the game, for the most part, like, weirdly enough, the stuff in the playable areas are usually all real, and the stuff outside the playable areas is not real at all. And in Kingdom Come 2, right, almost 99% of the foliage that's not like a big bush or a big tree is, there's no collision. You just walk through it, right? And if you ever walk through foliage IRL, that's not the case. Bushes are very good at stopping you. But just for gameplay reasons, right, it's much easier. And like, it's just creates less friction. I think Wave, I would rather see neither of those. I would want things to be stylized, right? I think this is a game that's supposed to be very heavily stylized and not like that. Let's go over to character that can actually aim. I think there's definitely some issues when the art and the style and the direction, like Tarkov works because everything is grounded and realistic to some extent. They've kind of taken away from that with bosses here and there, but for the most part, Tarkov has been historically very grounded. This game is not though, and so I don't think they should try for like a very like. If it's a stylized system, I'm in for it. If it's a heavily tries to ground itself, I think that's a mistake. I want them to explore like interesting ideas, not try to be a milsim. I already have plenty of milsims in my back catalog and can go play if I wanted to. And I think like that's also just like not playing to your niche, right? Make things stylized. Exactly, Kevin. And so like, yeah, like, and that's for example too why I feel like the guns are a mistake, because when you try and bring in IRL, like you can modify, like take the base M4, take the base AK, take the base M16, modify them in slight different variations and ways to make them kind of fit your world, but not necessarily just a stock M16 or a stock M4. That way it doesn't feel so, you unground the game a little bit too, and you give yourself some pliability, because what happens, right, as a gun nerd knows how an M4 and AK function, right? They know how like XYZ functions, right? They know how the S58 fires and feels. And so when they come play the game and they use that gun in game, they're only ever going to have critiques, right? Because they're using their preconceived notions on how those guns work and applying them to the game. So making things very clearly stylized and heavily gamified can help you out in that regard, I feel like. In some ways too, it's very Kojima to some extent, right? Because like naturally Kojima like his games feel grounded, but yet so not, right? Because he'll have things that are like almost, what's it called? He'll have aspects of his games like the gunplay or base guns that will feel very grounded and realistic, but then he'll throw a bunch of weird shit on top of that, right? That will, because you never have experienced it before, you don't know how it functions. Like, for example, the geckos, right? The geckos, right, in Kojima games, they had 50 cals on, right? And the 50 cals would operate as 50 cals. They obeyed the rules of 50 cals, but because geckos are sci-fi and they're not realistic, right? We never assumed that the geckos would have to, like, actually, like... We wouldn't apply normal physics to the geckos, but we would apply normal physics to 50 cals, though. And so you have different rule sets based on the actual item. And, like, Kojima's really good at that, right? He's very good at blending, like, yeah, the alternate reality of whatever he wants, right? He'll have the grounded things that you have your preconceived notions about, but then he'll, like, when you do not have an idea about what he's doing with these custom units and custom designs, so on and so forth, that's where he'll surprise you. Food. Yeah, that deserves a loot all. Did I just kill steal? Was that pyro? Whoops. I hope we get credit for that if that was the case. Oh man, this game is freaking the hell out. Womp womp. I feel like that feels wrong too, right? The whole assassination quest that relies on, like, you killing the unit. Does it really matter if they just die? I mean, it would be free for you, right? But at the same time, right? It's like, as long as they're dead, it's fine. Maybe ask for an item, but other than that, you don't care. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like getting his hood, right? Or for example, if he ever drops a flamer, getting his flamer. Oh, go, no, yeah, go 100%. Yeah, like that's the issue I have with the quest design, right? Is like quests right now feel like Tarkov quests thrown into the game, and not like, you know, they're not quests that kind of reinforce the voyeuristic aspects of the game. And the problem is too, we're seeing like, actually, I mean, the newer quests are a bit better in that regard, I will say. Like collecting the brothers' dog tags, like picking up a laptop here and there. Like Stairway does have better quests in that regard. Leave me alone. Well, I mean, yes and no, Kevin, because you necessarily don't need to have... There's plenty of room for quests that don't revolve around killing... Poor Gummy just got dropped. Around killing units, right? You can have plenty of, like, voyeuristic aspects without having to kill things, right? Exploring. It's kind of why I think, for example, they probably need to reconsider their level design to some extent. A lot of their level design seems based around, we want to show you some cool set piece art and everything else be damned. And like, that's, I guess, the plus of Injector Site on Frozen Swamp, is they wanted to show you this cool Injector Site, but then they had to put a map around it. But for a map like Stairway, right, Stairway has the issue where It's really cool aesthetically, but man, the gameplay fucking sucks. It's Arwing. If you were getting, it's better. Every single major content. Oh my god, so many drones. Every single major content patch, they have been improving like people's performance. And this one was a big one too. Like people have been saying, like, you know, this update gave them a lot of different things. Hold on. Where are you? Man, this game right now does not like peer-to-peer. This is rough. But no, yeah, like there's plenty of cool ideas for quests they can do, but I think it requires them to consider the map design to some extent. And I will say, Frozen Swamp is like one of the first maps where it feels like they actually considered like the actual like design of the map for like quests and stuff. Like the whole train aspect of the map feels like it's just there for quests to some extent. I need to leave. Little Papa Doe. Wait, did you die? Did you get murdered by Toothy? We need to leave. We've been here for too long with hunter killers on us. This has been cursed for a while now, and I don't have a good gun for this. I didn't realize it was. Ooh, gotcha. It was murder everything on Scorched Enclave time.
Oh shit, I got what I need.
It depends, Kevin, but like, it's not really about their size. Like, we only had one at a time here, right? It depends. It's variable, the hunter killers, but like the core issue though is more of they respawn basically like right after you kill them. So say for example you kill a hunter killer, a new one will spawn like not even 5 seconds later. And so like once you have them, they're incredibly persistent regardless of size. Yeah, and like naturally there's some units you won't be able to kill, or much harder to kill. Like you can kill the medium mech, but the Orgamech HK and the Stalker HK you can't kill. Granted, the Orgamech HK is kind of a meme, but the Grabber one is kind of deadly. All right, let's go actually to a gun that can actually shoot and be useful, like the AK, and not the. Like, that's the thing too, right? The RSAS just does like... Naturally, we can have different opinions, right? But like, a gun like this just doesn't fit the setting to me. And like, plenty of guns don't either. But like, this is like almost the pinnacle of this does not fit the game for me. It is an entirely, like, it's a miss. And for the AK too, right? Like, I don't think I should be seeing wood on AKs either. I almost, like, feel like, to some extent, old AKs that would have had wood on them would have been ripped off and, like, replaced by fire. Like, think if you're during the apocalypse, right? The value of wood that cannot be easily replenished. I feel like if you were some corrupt commander or armory person, like you would sell the wood and replace them with like actual stocks, right? Like wire stocks. Kit bash is a good aspect. Like it, yeah, nerf on that aspect, right? It feels like, the artists really like doing characters and units. They do not like doing guns. And so all the attention was given to the characters and the art and the units, and none of it was given to guns. And they might have their specialized guns for their certain characters because it's part of the character art. But outside of that itself, like the basic kind of run-of-the-mill guns are kind of left by the wayside. But yeah, kit bash is a good way of doing it too, like kit bash guns or just like... Exactly, nerf, yeah. Hey, Finder. They feel like a mismatch. Oh, we're doing it again, okay. Oh yeah, Doom Gun time. Yeah, Kevin, on that note though, right? I feel like if that was truly the case, wouldn't it be better to have less guns to show off first? To show you, like, and to get feedback on... Have they said it though? Can you give me a link? I haven't heard that myself. At least recently. Was it in a Q&A? Like, what Q&A was it in? I know they've talked about, like, having sci-fi guns in the future, right? Like, their own bespoke guns. But, like, feedback I've gotten from Fundog themselves on posts I've made, what the hell? Have kind of alluded to, like, guns are going to be the way they are. What the hell? What did I do? What did I do to deserve this game? Why? Why? I mean, I guess this works at least. What the hell is going on? I mean, like, I guess this is... Wait, my bullets are going to the ground sometimes, too. I don't know what's going on anymore. I guess I'm just not fighting this raid. I'm gonna... I have to survive. I wonder if it's a multiplayer thing. Like, is my bullet going to the ground right now? Is it? Wait, hold on. Holy shit, it is. That's where it's hitting right now. So, when I ADS, it goes into the ground. When I third person, it goes into the sky. Wait, no. It's just going to the ground now. Is it dependent on where I am? This is so confusing. How did this happen? Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Don't worry. I'll get a little... Wait, can I kill anyone like this? Oh, it's a tank. Why? Why? I mean, whatever. I have no questions to ask anymore. I'm done. It is what it is. Does my shotgun work? Hold on, let me try switching guns. Are you fixed now? I can't even swap back. My gun is so broke, I can't even swap back. The game is just like, no, you're not allowed to use that gun anymore. I literally cannot go back to it. I mean, that's one way of not having me use the gun, I guess, yeah. Alright, whatever. I have been thoroughly cursed. Wait, I can't even shoot my guns anymore. All right, well, I guess I'm just, I need to leave. They hacked my guns. Oh, hey. Oh, shit, that's Underkiller. Am I immune? I feel like that just hit me. All right, I think it's time to hide. Nah, we already left. We were just so cursed. Kevin, I will just say, generally speaking, yeah, the guns feel super early access and like very work in progress, and it feels like the core system behind the guns they still need to iterate on, because I think the core way they're approaching guns right now feel not right. Help. You should have brought a pneumatic jump, Rage. Why didn't you bring a pneumatic jump? You could have solved this. See, he's fine. Ah, yes, we're all free now. I wonder if I'm cursed next raid also. Wait, wasn't I a masked man? Or sorry, wasn't I old man? Didn't I pick old man? But yeah, Kevin, on that point though, like, the question being is, do we have 43 guns in the currently? We have 43 guns currently. I was able to reduce that count to like 26 and still keeping plenty of guns in for like aesthetic considerations. So it just felt kind of, what's it called? A bit weird. Like, if you're trying to like get a baseline system getting going, would you really want to start with 43 guns in that regard? And not just get a good baseline with a few? Alright, let's get off the AK trip. Let's go back to the M4 and see if that's a bit less cursed. I mean, you usually don't hear this soundtrack on the innards, but I am definitely vibing with it right now. Hey, Blood got in. Quick, go before we get kicked out. I don't think it's like, I'm not saying as extreme as 4 to 5, right? I am more in the sense of like, from a faction ideology, go to like, my thought is how I'd approach it would be this, Kevin, is that you take a look at each faction's ideology, and then from there design an arsenal for each faction, and then go from that. And maybe start with like a very baseline faction for that, right? So like maybe 5 to 6 guns per faction for the most part, and then maybe like have a few examples outside. That's like basically 6 guns per faction starting out with, and then like maybe like the scavs having their own guns, right? And then maybe like a pool of other guns too. So altogether like 24, 25 guns that are of their own design, and are more focused around the doctrine of the factions, and then the utility scavs we want to fill outside of that. Because the way I view scav guns, right, is that they're trying to do something the factions don't want to do in their own unique way. Kevin, on that note too, I'm not exactly following, but I'm gonna say this point anyway. I do think there's plenty of space for them to design interesting units that do not give the ability for scavengers to use their gun. But if your point is more on the having work you do for animation and rigging being applied to multiple different units, then yeah, I understand that, right? Because if you, and that's a core emphasis too of like, right, of their problem, right? Is they have so many units in the pipeline, it feels like, that they're really just kind of constrained by the time it takes to implement them in the game. The units are done, the rigging is at least done for them, but it requires the animations and then like the programming itself to include them in the game. So yeah, I understand that aspect, right? Where like if you have a lot of different things, it takes a lot more time, and you want to kind of try to make it universal for a lot of different things. I don't necessarily think all enemies have to, but like you naturally do have the core infantry, right? But and for example, right, I think scav guns are, for example, an area in that regard. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If this was back in September, right? Keep in mind, September was a long time ago, and September, right, they thought their versatilization of water was good. And and since that point, they have changed their mind and said, yeah, okay, maybe the original idea for water wasn't great. Yeah, there's crafting, Kevin. There's crafting, there's other ways. Like, for example, right, I wouldn't say we have the ability to craft, like, a scar for the factions, but in more in the sense, right, where I'm saying you have each faction's weapons, right? And you like they fit the ideology of those factions. Oh, crafting is way off, don't get me wrong. You can still have quests that kind of give you them, right? You can just do quests. Like, for example, the Vepr and the PM9. The Vepr and the PM9 you can't even get from quests, you get to find them from containers or from your Dropbox, right? There's already instances of those guns existing, but being hard to get. So there's a basis for what we're basically saying right now, of having these more bespoke guns that are harder to get. We're not bespoke, but just guns that are harder to get. But you can have instances, right, where scavs develop like their own firearms to fit niches that other guns don't, or the factions wouldn't want to design for, right? All right, so yeah, everyone's, oh my God. Are you okay, Gunhead? All right, we're good. He's loading it. He's still loading it.
It's always the same.
But like, and like, there's a big issue right now with silencers, right? When you play the game with a silencer and when you don't play the game with a silencer, you have two very different experiences. And I think for that exact reason, right, maybe there needs to be considerations of, hey, maybe a lot of the factions don't care about silencers, and silencers are only used in very special circumstances. And the guns that have silencers have their own unique drawbacks for that reason. Yeah, I mean, maybe, Kevin, maybe. Like, if their plan is for 43 guns in totality, and so they made 43 guns to base their future guns off of, then sure. I personally would be surprised if that's the case, but it's definitely possible, right? I would be surprised. Especially considering, too, they seem to be spending at least a decent amount of time making attachments work, so on and so forth, but... And, like... Oh my God. This is not good. I think Lil Papa's dying. If that's the case, too, why have so many attachments? Like, some guns will have, like, 100 attachments to them, and some guns will have, like, 0. I mean, here's the problem, Kevin. Everything what you're saying is definitely like a possibility, but all the things I feel thus far make me feel otherwise. And naturally, I am saying the word feel here. I'm not saying it's factual. I'm saying it makes me feel like this is not true. From all my combined experiences thus far, I don't feel like that's the case, but I can't say you're wrong either. Just 4 guys hanging out. Well, I guess 2 guys, a robot, and a scav girl. Someone picked those pictures. Who picked up the pictures? It was probably me. Kevin, but like on that point though, right? Go look at the early access page. The early access page said they wanted to be in early access for a year. Oh no, oh no. Like that's the issue, right? In the sense of like, there's a bunch of conflicting information. Rod! Hey daddy. Rod! I'm sorry, I picked up like 3 pictures. And now the grabber's coming for us. They think it got little Papa. I picked up 3 pictures, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to say lot. I didn't even hear you. There actually wasn't even a picture. Or there's not even a roadmap, Kevin. Womp womp. And then rage fell. I'm sorry guys, I probably picked up 3 pictures and killed everyone. It was smut pictures of the grabber's mom. But no, yeah, we don't have a roadmap. We won't ever get one, I'm pretty sure, because they don't want to be beholden to one, which is perfectly fair. Also, it's probably just decent because we're like this 4-player lobby is lagging a bit, but like we definitely did not hear the grabber run up behind us and grab us. But that's probably just more desync than anything else. You know what? I can fix this, and by fix this I mean I can make it right. No, that's a consistent issue with dog, right? Is sometimes dog is. They have done good work on fixing the desync of the dog, but it's still quite present where the dog will just do things like that, especially in multiplayer. I'm running out of medkits. Well, sorry, I'm running out of good medkits. See you, Kevin. Thanks for stopping by. We're gonna bring 32 of the small ones, I guess. I think Masked Man's probably a true human too. Like, Bagman's definitely artificial. Scav Girl has some degree of artificial to them. Shaman's probably like half tech at this point. I think Masked Man's probably like, Masked Man feels like a scavenger for the most part, right? I think Shaman probably's got some tech in him, right? Probably got some high-end chrome. Pack Mule, Gummy, not even close. It's just pack. It's like the best. It will. So, I really like the Pack Mule, but the best like all-around rig, where are you, is definitely this one right here. If you want to do a like this on Shaman, if you want the peak of like I want to do everything almost, it's like Shaman with this. This lets you pick up guns, pick up 2 giant rig slots, plenty of loot for most storage, right? But Shaman with this is like basically like peak multifunctional. If you want a character with a bit more like ability to like carry different guns, it's then Masked Man, but yeah. And like Old Man kind of gets that way too once you level him up. It just takes a while. But once you get Old Man to level 25, he kind of functions like a middle of the road character too. Waiting for you, Rage. I think who's hunting the dog? Shaman feels like one of the few characters. Daddy, there is the heavy rig though, right? That has that. But Shaman feels like one of the few characters, for example, that kind of has an idea of the scope of things going on. And naturally, right, there is a very heavy fog of war around, but like Shaman has access to computer systems, he can hack into stuff. Shaman understands what the fuck's going on the most out of everyone. So like that naturally bestows some degree of wisdom to him, right? Scav Girl's red flag, yeah. You see her rip off someone's head. This is fine. Masked Man kind of feels like the prototypical scavenger who just wears a mask. Like this, like Masked Man feels like almost to some extent a very just generic future scavenger, right? There's not a lot of character there because he's supposed to be able to just like, it's literally if any scavenger threw on a mask, really. Bagman feels like he's definitely heavy, Bagman's definitely chromed out, right? He's got those artificial arms. Though interestingly enough too, right? So Lordos said he was deployed in Algeria. Or was it Libya? Like, I think it was Algeria. Either that or Libya. And then he's over here now, right? He came over to here. So either two things happened. They found a way across the ocean, if it still exists, which it probably should. That would have its own giant issues if that wasn't the case. Or it's just a copy of Lordos that's not real. And it just has that memory. Do you have that backwards? Are you saying that Bagman and Shaman don't feel like mercs? I feel like Old Man definitely feels like a scavenger for me. Same thing with Scav Girl. I can see the case that Masked Man feels like a merc. And Gunhead's just Gunhead. But I would say Bagman feels more like a merc than anything else. A blood's still loading in, yeah. Oh, we stuck on the loading screen? Womp womp. Okay, so if it's Old Man and Shaman, yeah, I can respect that. Yeah, make L. Yeah, like Old Man and Shaman. I don't really feel like Scav Girl is that way, but like I can understand the viewpoint considering how violent she is. Well, Gunhead's just neutral, right? Gunhead just does his programming. Okay, so this time we're going to be responsible and not pick up all the pictures. There's only one. I'm gonna go with that one. Helicopter, helicopter. So cursed. Hello. How are you, sir? Sir? No, he's dead. Interesting. It's more new about the illusion of sentience, glitches in the code. So the whole concept of Gunhead, right, is that like he's basically a robot that has been retrofitted 5 million times for different roles. And if he doesn't get factory reset basically every couple of years or a year or so, he starts kind of developing all of these quirks and bugs from his experiences, right? And so it's more of just the illusion of personality and intelligence. So it's not really sentience per se. I mean, to be fair, who is to say if it's sentience or not? But like, it's just kind of the illusion of intelligence, from my understanding. The dog by far is the most annoying unit in the game. It's the helicopter is annoying, but the helicopter won't spawn the map and chase you down. Oh god. Like the helicopter will, like, once it aggroes to you, chase you down, but like it can't be a hunter killer. If the chopper was a hunter killer, I would probably agree with you. Like, thankfully it's HKs or EOD HKs. Oh yeah, you can do that sometimes. Yeah, wrecking does spawn up there occasionally instead of the medium mech. The tracers are so large for this god. Okay. Oh, I forgot about that bug. So you know the bug we had before? It probably was a loot bug. We probably just needed to loot all again. That hasn't been a bug in a long time though, because maybe it's just a thing in multiplayer still. Well, I think that whole thing too, right, New California, like, at a certain point, right, the whole, like, debacle of, is it a VI, is it an AI, like, is it just a really sophisticated program? Those are all interesting questions to ask, right? Like, because all of them are plausible, right? Which is nice. You can kind of just make the game, to some extent, fit the lore you exactly want. Like, like, having that degree of vagueness is nice, because people can, like, kind of tailor the setting to their own mental headcanon. So if you want to believe it's like an AI, that's fine. If you want to believe it's a program that has levels of, like, intelligences on top of it, that's perfectly fine too, right? Yes, the floating magazine. It's magic. Just ignore it. Just don't look at it. Doesn't exist. Can I push you? Okay, that's good. What is Rage doing? Is Rage doing like a witness me moment? Medium mech should have pilots. Well, the medium mech's for Europa. There's literally a quest where it's called Mech Wreck, where you kill the pilot of one. But Yerska's different. Yerska, I'm pretty sure the mech's a creature. Like, it's just a grown creature at that point. All right, let's not commit friendly fire. Really? All right, whatever. All right. Give me your alcohol. I'm not sure if it breathes, but definitely it might breathe actually. Maybe its backpack is like a lung. But it definitely does have a battle cry. Yeah, I haven't tried it, Country, in a while, but with the pneumatic jump, you can actually at least used to be able to get up here. And so when it's only the crawler cyborgs, not the drones, you can like actually just farm up there endlessly if you really want to. Yeah, I yes and no. It can help you get to spots where you can survive dog, but it will. If the dog is in your face, it will still just tend to pluck you out of the air with the sync kill. I definitely have had that happen before. We actually don't necessarily know how much of Lordos actually is in the Orgamech. There's a real possibility, Keller, right, where when Lordos died, or when whatever Lordos was based on died to the grabber or whatever it was fighting in the facility, what was reclaimed wasn't Lordos himself, but the personality and memories of Lordos cast into a shell, an engram, if you will. And there could be small bits of him left too. It could be just his brain, right? Maybe remnants of his brain, perhaps. But like, there's also a possibility too where it's just an engram. Basically, just almost like a scan of a brain, almost thrown digitally into a shell. Loose depends, I guess, to some degree what it is. Like, what is it? Well, Keller, yes and no, right? Like, so yeah, like Yoruska. Well, actually, Yoruska's. I've kind of begun to view Yoruska in a slightly different light now. Yes, they place emphasis on biology a lot more than technology, right? But I almost feel like the AIs in charge of Yoruska have, considering their prevalence and their importance of their night shift, and that Yoruska seems to want to rebuild and focuses on rebuilding, it seems like they have a very emphasized AI on not winning, but surviving. And when, for example, the whole issue with, for example, Lordos and, you know, getting thrust into that facility, it could have been a test, right, of, hey, in this new future that we're making, could the most well-trained humans survive? And considering those squads got wiped out, the answer was no. And because they might have a prerogative to say, keep humanity alive into the future, they might, the AI might have deemed it like the only way we can actually have humanity to survive into the future is by removing, or rather keeping the only aspects of humanity that we can through, you know, digitalization. And you kind of see it too, right, with like the grabbers and the mothers. They're creating units and things for this kind of new future to survive in, right? And then like there's definitely could be like biology inside of the Orgamex too, right? You know, Lordos can smoke, but like, for example, is Lordo smoking because he has lungs, or because when he ingests smoke, the AI, or rather his brain, knows to produce some sensation that makes him feel good without any biology being involved? And to some extent in that regard too, right, Orgamech can be almost Mikhail, though, yes and no, right? It's called an Orgamech, right? But when you're trying to lie to the person inside, saying that they're still human, you don't want to call them a fake mech, or rather a not human mech, or like if you're trying to make the person who's trapped inside of this engram not realize that they're an engram, you're not going to call them, cybermech. And so you could just like see the AI giving them at least a little bit of biology, just to make sure that they think that they're at least part of what they once were. They're still them. If you're trying to convince a human with a psyop that like, hey, yeah, you're still who you are, yeah, you're not gonna call them not organic. Yeah, so Lil Papa says, right, is that Orga parts are just common sticker on your Asian parts, so it could just be a continuation to that. I mean, interesting thought theory, right? Is like, yeah, you have like infinite knowledge, but like you're trapped in North Korea. Good luck. And especially considering too, if the theory is that like you were being trained by a Euruscan AI to be the pinnacle human, so they could like, see if you could survive, and they need to change you for that. Like, yeah, they're not gonna be like, hey, lying is too far. We did all of these horrible things, but lying is where we cut off the line, right? Oh yeah, I definitely think there's still probably some human elements or biology elements inside, right? The question being, right, is it biology from the human shell they were before, or is it just biology to function as biology, right? Like, there's probably definitely biological aspects of that creature, but is it actually relevant to the human that they once were? It basically all comes down to like, are they a copy of a person, or are they like the intact brain from before? Or are they a brain that's been kind of almost organically programmed, right, to think there's someone else? Or for example, like, if they produce these Orgamechs, is it just like a lab-grown brain that is literally where they program it, right? Once you get to a certain level, right, like, it'd be a real bitch, but like, if you are able to like 3D scan a brain to the point where you can see the synapses and the connections between different, nerves, right? Could you just print that out, and would it be that person? It's like, it's basically like, you know, what's it called? Like, you know, painting, or what's it called? Picturing a hard drive, right? Like taking a picture of the data layout of a hard drive, and then just copy and pasting that, and then you have the data from before. You didn't write and rewrite, you basically just kind of literally printed out what you saw the data was. And that applied to a brain. Well, that cool. That could just be like a brain having to try to cope with the whole issues in regards to having biological or technological eyes now, cyborg eyes. Oh no, yeah, like Soma. Like if you want to understand where I'm coming from, just go play Soma. If you want to have existential crisis, go play Soma. And remember too, like keep in mind, there's plenty of instances too, right, with Yoruska, like where Lordos says like they wipe memories, they wiped a lot of memories, right? And so it could be Yoruska's point too, right, where they wipe certain memories where they feel like the self-realization that Lordos might be not the real Lordos comes into play. Like, it could just be, like, that could be one of the biggest reasons in regards to the memory wipes of Lordos. Not in-game currently, no. It's just in that cinematic. What up? Currently, the grabbers are still just immune to, you know, anything. At least that I've seen so far. I mean, technically speaking, you don't really see pitched battles between medium mechs and grabbers, so... I mean, who's to say it doesn't exist? Go corral a grabber to a medium mech and see what happens. Yes, technically they are killable. They have, I think it's 100 million HP, or is it 1 billion? It's some crazy amount of HP. I mean, Rage used to say we're not in a simulation right now. What if Elon Musk is right? We're living in a simulation, oh my god. At that point, does it really matter? Alright, everyone, homework. Go watch Matrix, go watch, Matrix only 1. Go watch only Matrix 1. Go watch, or go play Soma. What else? What other dread we could give me cause? I think some people have probably cheated Lewis to kill one. So Cyberpunk's good too. Cyberpunk raises all of these questions also. Certain episodes of Black Mirror. Soma was very fucked up. But it being fucked up is what made it so great, right? It's definitely the magnum opus. What's that studio called? They made the Amnesia series. Oh, hold on. What's that studio called? Yeah, Frictional Games, there we go. Yeah. No, Soma is definitely like Frictional's magnum opus for sure. They've been making horror games for a long time now, but like Soma's the first one where they blended like decent stealth play with like a very good overall narrative, right? I've never really been a fan of like, for example, the Soma, not the Soma, but Amnesia's like storylines for the most part. They've been fine for horror games, but let's see if the AK is still cursed. right, we're good here. My bed's right, don't I? It's taking a while to load. Oh no, someone stole his spot. Loaf bread joined. Oh man, they only have 4 water too. We have a noob. A new player.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Just everyone give him water, yeah. Man, look at Rage there with 98 water, not wanting to give any. Can't believe Rage right now. Absolutely shaming.
Hello, hello.
Hey. How's it going? I'm not sure if you can hear us.
Doing alright. Oh, thank you, man.
Is this really delayed, actually? Oh, is it routing all of his traffic through little pop-up, perhaps? That makes sense, actually. It seems to be pretty delayed. Ah, yes, country. The issue of melee units and rocks, and melee units and just reaching things they need to kill. Yeah, I mean, I'm in little Papa's lobby. We're full now, but like, yeah, the matchmaker like lobby finder is a bit, I guess, buggy right now. It took Blood a while to get in last time, also, to actually be able to see the lobby. I'm not sure how much work it would take, but I would love like a lobby code in this game as opposed to like a friends list invite. Just drop a lobby code to people and have them join off that. Yeah, there are issues too with like having to reboot the game occasionally, but yeah, we're in little Papa's lobby right now. Since it's been working marginally well. It's also like nice too actually to see, so far the community games have been like, the previous streams, the community streams have been me hosting, other people joining. It's actually kind of nice to get the perspective too of what sometimes they experience, because the experience between the host and like what I'm getting right now is very different, right? Or has been at least somewhat different. Yeah, he does have base rig. He's a 3080. Yeah, there's always gonna be like that lock. Like, it's gonna be a little bit rough for him, I imagine, because like it's gonna feel probably weird for him what we're doing right now. Oh god damn it! The grenade launcher to the face. Pick me up before you go. I don't have a grenade launcher, little Papa. Use a grenade launcher. Ah, XM25. Hello, drones. Typically, I don't usually get frame issues at all, especially on newer patches. The only map that's kind of bad for frames is Elephant, but like even that's not too bad anymore. I'm not gonna lie, the tracer effects getting stuck in the air is very interesting. I wonder if it's based on where Lil Papa is looking. So when you're at least playing solo, if you're not looking at effects, they stop playing. And I'm wondering if that's what applies to the host right now. So if the host is not looking at where you're shooting, they, like the tracers just get stuck sometimes. You summoned the HKs. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. I don't think I did anything, at least. Hold on. Let me go see if it was my sin. Did I do it? Okay, it wasn't my fault. Okay, it's just HK, it's no big deal. EODs. Interesting, I've never seen it solo. Maybe it's a frames thing? I have yet to see an instances patch of having a tracer get stuck midair. Though I'm kind of curious, actually. Kind of hard to shoot in one direction, then, like, turn around quick enough. Maybe if I spin. I mean, I really don't like animations that like are very stiff and rigid, and that's like the epitome of dash. I'm not saying it's useless, I just don't really like the fact that like you're like very much locked into a plane when you're doing that. Like you're only moving to the right 90 degrees perfectly with no sway at all depending on your movement keys. It feels, yeah, just way too stiff. Like, it's useful, it moves you quickly in a very short period, but like, it just feels awkward. Like, this does work. Really? I guess I need to compensate for lag, that makes sense. I need to lead the target by my latency. Understood. I feel like, though, I will say, in a game like this, it's control, John, and then direction key. Or A or D and then control. Or control holding down the A and D. In a game like this, right, I'm pretty sure it's perfectly fine for you just to take the client's word as law. Like, if they want to cheat, that's their own prerogative. You don't need to be, like, authoritative, I guess. But I guess maybe there's other considerations, too, for in regards to, like, peer-to-peer. I mean, there's always a risk a cheater joins your lobby, right? But, like, you can just kick them. So it looks like it's getting stuck on like maybe a dead units, perhaps. Little Papa killed himself, I'm pretty sure. I wonder how Loaf is doing. Where's Loaf at? Did we lose? Oh, there's Loaf. Who's shooting what? Yeah, I just feel like cyborgs are a bit tankier this time around. Like, regardless of shotguns themselves, it just feels like cyborgs are a little bit tankier. Like, you're still gonna one-shot them with most rifles, but definitely with, like, M4s and stuff and AKs. Loaf, it's not... Yeah, we can move around. Two reasons, country. They want to cheat because they want to cheat, which is perfectly fine, right? That's just like their own prerogative. If they want to, if they cheat because they want the power fantasy or they want to enjoy it in their own way. Oh god. Oh god. Other way. Not today. That and like there is an actual like there is a reason for PvE games to have anti-cheat sometimes because of bad actors. People will still find joy in griefing even in PvE games. And so like they'll join your lobby and fuck with you with cheats. Yeah, trolls. How's Loaf doing? Want to make sure the little new guy gets out of here alive. Oh, you're empty. It told me it was empty. Favorite night map's probably Scorched. Or sorry, Ashen Mesa. Frozen Swamp though. Ooh, it's rough. Frozen Swamp night map is fucking awesome too. It's definitely rough between those two because like both Ashen Mesa and Frozen Swamp night shifts are both amazing. Yeah, Mesa Eclipse and then like Frozen Swamp though is like very high up there. Yeah, that is one of the perk of the 308s. They're like one of the, they're basically the de facto silenced gun if you want to, you know, silently take out squads. At least your opens and your Asians, right? Like, unfortunately, your Ruskins are still gonna be out of reach of that. But for the most part, other than that, yeah, 308's the way to go. Let's go. Alright, what gun now? Let's go over to Baghdad. So little Papa, I'm curious, are you not a fan of Cemetery? I see that I've been playing Cemetery at all today. No like Cemetery? Though I will say we do have a new player, and maybe we don't do Cemetery with a new player. That would be a bad experience. Why do I suddenly just die when I enter this map? Welcome to Cemetery. Oh, I'll buy Rage. And we lost Loaf too? No. I think everyone just suffers on Cemetery, to be honest. So let's give Blood a chance to join. Anyone else get Gumi back in here? I actually prefer the night map on Cemetery more. Queeb, They basically just spawn anywhere on the ground. It's not set. So like just explore maps and then there's a chance of it'll pop up. By the way, you don't have, it might just be bugged out. He might not have, he doesn't have meds and stuff on my screen, but no. Nighttime cemetery I like because there's actually a chance the grabber will get distracted by cultists instead of us. Yeah, look, Brett's gonna like go into a map now, trying killing everything, and be like, "What the hell? Why this does not work anymore?" But yeah, cool. But they just spawn on the ground everywhere, essentially. It's there might be a set one for connecting the dots. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it in a long time. But like, if you just explore maps, you'll just see them on the ground randomly. They used to be set spawns, they're not anymore. You'll just basically just play a map and you'll just accidentally find sometimes. All right, there's blood. Give Gumi a second to join, hopefully. I just think Cemetery is too boring, to be honest. It doesn't really feel like there's any choices to be made on the map at all. Like, you pick up the map and it's like it plays itself. Same thing with Stairway, right? It just kind of plays itself. Oh, Ghoul, they can... Ghoul, like, if you loot a lot, if you fill up a pack mule, you get like 1.3 thousand kilograms. See you, country. Have a good one. Have fun getting murdered. That's fine, we'll give you like another minute or two. We'll say 2 minutes starting from now. I don't want to keep little Papa waiting for too long. He is being a gracious host. Oh, Psycho joined. Oh, you just got sniped by Psycho. It's so unfortunate, but Psycho I know wanted to get in here too, I'm pretty sure. Hey Psycho, how's it going? Don't worry, Gamer. There'll be future runs in the future always. Every other Friday is a community stream, and maybe in the future we'll have better matchmaking. I'll try to find solutions too, perhaps. It's one of the reasons why like a lobby code would be very nice in this game to join off of. Opposed to having to rely on a friends list on Steam or a matchmaker or like a lobby list. Just drop a code real quick in chat and people can join off that. It would be so convenient. For the most part, I'm not sure if Old Man is, to be honest, but that's probably why he's Old Man. Ah, yes, we're on a boat. It's literally making me motion sick doing that, actually. Let's not do that. Ooh, Wrecking is here. Is he? Oh yeah, there he is. He didn't run from me earlier. Hey, Wrecking. I don't think Wrecking's gonna be very long for the world too. Oh, dude, I don't think this game could handle 8 people in a lobby together. I think it would like literally explode. At least currently. Also, the maps are just way too small for that, I feel like. Well, I mean, if that's the case... I want to see how this is real quickly. Well, actually, hold on. Those guys are on the field. I don't feel safe anymore, actually. Oh. Little Pop, are you trying to... Toothy's are... Yeah, Toothy, of course Toothy won. Toothy, you can't kill Toothy. I mean, like... There's certain items that have a very high weight. And, like, if you pick up a few of them, they cause HKs. It doesn't help with bigger squads, too. Like, it's very easy to get HKs very quickly with big squads like this. It just happens immediately for the most part. Well, if you feel that way, Blood Panda, go say hi to Toothy. Be a good distraction. Oh, fuck me. Well, wait, actually, hold on here. I'm a big game hunter, so Painless now uses... No. Fuck off. My gun doesn't shoot! My gun doesn't shoot! Painless is jammed! I need a container to loot. I need a container to loot. Toothy's jamming my guns. I need a gun to shoot. Where's the container? I need a container. Why are there no containers around? My god. Open. There's gotta be one in you, right? Let me shoot. Really? Where are the fucking containers at? No. I can't use medkits either? What the hell is going on? Nothing I do does anything. I am healing though. Okay, I'm healing now. I can't shoot still. There we go. Wait. Can you... Okay, fix itself now? What is going on? And now I can't swap back? What the... What did I do to deserve this? There's so many bugs. Game, please. I did not bring TACAM. Nah. It might just be the... Hold on, let me look at the container over here. Thankfully, I am immune to, like, the grabber trying to murder me. There we go, it's fixed. Just that loot all bug. Everything's broke, I'm leaving. Am I immune to bullets, though? I feel like this is almost like heavy desync. What the hell? Everything is broken. Though, side perk of playing Bagman, I cannot get one shot by dog. That was so very intense. Blood saved us there from the cyborg hordes we couldn't murder. Because we couldn't shoot our guns and apparently couldn't melee either. And according to Little Papa, we were just like a floating rig and gun. Well, that was certainly something. We gotta run it back. We gotta fix it. Gotta see if it's bugged twice in a row. I wanted to use Painless so badly. I wonder if it's us using funky guns like this, perhaps. Maybe, like, the game's expecting us to actually have a gun that has usable sights. Maybe that's why it's bugging out. So let's just bring Painless and then bring a gun with actual irons on it. Because like both times where we've had that bug so far, it feels like it's because both times we had that bug were both times where we didn't have an optic on our rail, and so we were playing Doom mode. So I'm curious if it's something related with that. Is it my own fault for playing Doom mode instead of playing normal mode? Ghoul, is your point is that you want us to put Scav Girl on our back as a weapons platform? I could see that. It would actually be kind of cool too, because we can do it with, for example, pilots, right? It'd be cool having to like pick up characters on your back sometimes. Like, imagine how cool that would be. Say, for example, you get hurt so badly that like someone has to pick you up and carry you out. And so like you're on their back shooting the hordes behind you. Granted, a very niche scenario, but does like seem thematically really cool, right? Or they could just like rip off Death Stranding, where as opposed to like the baby being inside of like that kind of cradle, that like that, you know, that womb, if you will, instead of just it's just a baby with a gun on your chest. New character, Gun Baby. It's a baby on a gun with a guy carrying it on his chest like Death Stranding. I feel like that's a good marketing ploy too, right? Like, come on, like, how could you like, you tell your friends this game has a gun baby, and they're like, what? Who wouldn't want to play a game like that? No, actually, I mean, even Scavro can carry her, right? Like anyone who has a large container slot can carry her.
I hate the surface.
Where are my bullets going? How does this happen to me? I am so cursed. So I guess maybe it's certain guns that are broken? AK with no sights, then painless, I guess, perhaps? Apparently I'm in the ground right now, and I can't shoot any of my guns. Oh, hey, body. Well, I guess I get to be peak rat right now. Loot but don't die. And loot but don't shoot. A little bit of explosives here and there.
Nice little joy, even in a shithole like this.
I wonder, can I sync kill while in this mode? Oh, it doesn't work. All right, well, I tried. I am entirely foobar. I mean, I got the icon though. Like, the icon popped up for me. Maybe I can, like, propel myself out of the ground. Tanks are mythical creatures, yeah. Ow, hi. The hell? Hey, stop that. I can't. This is not fair. I can't shoot back. This is unfair. I feel so cursed right now. This has been a very cursed stream. But it is nice to see the experiences some people go through when they're not the host. So that we can empathize in the future. Yeah, there's Pyro. I want to shoot so badly. I brought Painless to shoot. And didn't know shoot. I mean, I guess this is one way to make us not that guy. That is absolutely that could be the case, right? Oh, you wanted to be that guy, or you didn't want to be that guy. This is what you get. No gun, no shoot. This is just a precursor to jamming. Come on, give me a kill, give me a kill, give me a kill. Where the fuck are my bullets going? Did I get a hit marker there? We helped. We helped. That was all of us. Come on, go down. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Stop going above their heads. Oh no. What the hell? Hello. This would have been, I'm not gonna lie, insanely convenient for my cyborg video. This would have been amazing for my cyborg video. Oh my god. Don't worry. Just early access. See, why can't we do this with Toothy? Oh no, Little Papa, I do plenty of like pausing and all that with Unreal Engine Locker. It's more of getting them to conveniently T-pose and not stretch. So when they're moving around, sometimes they'll stretch their skins and so on and so forth, so it's hard to read, but like when they're T-posing right, they're naturally not stretched at all, so it's just really convenient for getting like close-up shots on like text. Like Zyakatsu Biomedical and stuff like that. I think it's time to leave, because I am thoroughly cursed. Oh yeah, Ragey 100%. Yeah, that's one of the spots where the corpse bombers drop them, and they just bug out apparently. So like, there's the corpse bombers. There's the effect that kind of shows them dropping, and then they spawn where that effect kind of roughly plays. It's not like one-to-one. I don't know, John. I think we're just kind of bugged out right now from, I guess, certain guns and multiplayer lobbies and desync. So much loot for not any shooting at all. All right. That's going to be it for me, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'll be back on Monday. New video in the works. It's going to be longer than normal, so just don't expect it next week early or probably till not 2 weeks from now. I hope to have it out before the new month, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Hopefully we'll see a patch maybe this week or next week, maybe later today. But yeah, take it easy, y'all. I will see you later, and have a good one.